Hi everyone, Hesam here. Welcome back to Byte Camp and welcome back to our 2D video game series. In this episode, I'll be showing you guys how to program and code our villager so that it can jump. That is one of the key components for a platformer game. So let's get right into it. So here I am in my level 2 scene and I want to make my villager jump. So I know I need to add some code, so I go to my script. In our script, I've already added some simple comments to help us translate it from English to code. And the first thing we need to do is we need to check if our user is wanting to jump. And that is using an if statement. So I'm going to type if input.is_action pressed quotation marks UI_up. Then we want our y velocity to be a negative number. So I'm going to choose negative 300. And let's run our code. So now when I jump, our villager flies, doesn't jump. And that's because we don't have any gravity. To add gravity, we're supposed to increase the velocity every second. So I'm going to type velocity.y equals velocity.y plus 10. And let's run our code now. And look at that, it doesn't fly anymore. But now it can jump mid-air. That's not right. So in order to fix that, we only want our villager to jump when he's on the ground. So I have to add another if statement. We're going to check if our villager is on the floor. And if our villager is on the floor, we want our y velocity to equal to 0. And we only want to check if our villager is pressing up if it's on the floor. So I'm going to have to indent these two lines by pressing tab. And we want to have our gravity when our villager is not on the floor. So I'm going to add an else statement. And under that, for our velocity.y, I'm going to press tab to indent it so it's part of this if statement. And we want to add our jumping animation. Our jumping animation should only work when our villager is not on the floor. In other words, when the y velocity is less than 0. So I'm going to have another if statement that checks if our y velocity is less than 0. And if it is, I'm going to play our jumping animation. And if we run our code right now, you're going to notice that it doesn't work. And that's because Godot doesn't really know which direction is up, so we have to define that. And we do that by going at the top of the code right underneath constant speed, and we're going to write constant up equals vector2 0, negative 1. And at the bottom where it says move and slide, I'm going to add comma up. And it should work now, so let's run our code. And our villager can move left and right, and it jumps. But I want it to jump higher, so let's fix that. In order to make it jump higher, I need to increase this number to a higher number. So I'm going to choose negative 400 and see if it's better. And I like that. Thank you for watching. That is all for today. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of our techie videos and so you can finish our Villager Dungeon Nightmare Game series. See you next time!